Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Natalie James and Natalie Jean. Today on Chatting with Nat, we have the honor of having singer-songwriter Melanie M Scheiber. I hope I said that right. Katy, Texas-raised singer-songwriter Melanie M Scheiber launched her new pop music project, My Friends Call Me Mel, in April 2021, releasing new music every few months into 2021 and beyond. mfcmM. Musical approach is inspired by wanting her songs to feel like a friend. As a Belmont University Songwriting graduate, military wife, and new mom, life has now found mfcmM, creating her latest original music in the beautiful paradise of Oahu, Hawaii. Let's give her a round of applause. Hi, Melanie.
Hello.
I hope I said your last name right. I should have asked you. I forgot. I'm sorry.
You did Scheiber.
Oh, so I got it right! Yeah!
You did. Also, the acronym, that's the shortened My Friends Call Me Mel, because it's a mouthful.
I thought so, but then I was just, let me just do it this way. It's just easier that way. So, how have you been this, let's see, election, pandemic, George Floyd, Ukraine, oh my God, cicada, Roe versus Wade, mass shootings, kind of years. How have you been during these tumultuous years? It's just been just stupendously crazy.
I know. I feel like I'm watching like a terrible Netflix documentary of the world, and we're living in it. It's a day-by-day thing, though.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, because day by day, you don't know what you're going to wake up to when you turn on the TV, turn on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, I don't know. You just don't know what you're going to get. But congratulations on becoming a new mom.
Yes, and in the midst of all the craziness, my husband and I decided, let's bring a child into the world.
Yeah, you know what? I call you guys brave. I don't have children of my own. I have fur babies. I don't plan to have children. The world is very chaotic, but I do applaud the people that decide to have children. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It just is, and to give life, to create life is just an amazing process. I often think about it. It's just how the whole thing happens, and the baby's in your stomach. It's just a phenomenon. So, what did you have?
I had a baby girl. Yeah, she's already feeling like a best friend. She's 6 months old. Her name's Adeline, and we love her to death. And she loves music and she loves dancing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Is she a pandemic baby?
Still in the pandemic, right? I guess.
Yeah,
so
she's a pandemic baby.
Born at the end of 2021. So.
Yeah, she's a pandemic baby. You gotta watch out for those pandemic babies, because they're very smart and in tune with the world. So, that's a good thing. So, one of the questions I like to ask is this. Obviously, the past couple of years have just been crap, and people have died and people have lost so much. During the pandemic, some people are suffering from long-term COVID and stuff like that. I had COVID twice and suffer from long-term COVID. And it's been just crazy times. But on the flip side of that, there's been pros. There's actually been pros. And, family members, I saw family members walking together. And not that that's weird, but it is weird, because sometimes people are just living in a fast-paced world. Or I had colleagues that said, you know what, I got to cut back on work because I realized I'm not spending enough time with my family. You have climate change. Oh, my gosh. Pollution level went down when we were not in the world the animals, the trees, the grass. I don't know. They were happy, hoping that we wouldn't come back, but we did come back. You had so many articles written about people quitting their job because what the pandemic did, it made people realize that really life is truly short, and they definitely want to do something that's more in line with their passion, their love. Let's make money and let's be happy, was the whole catchphrase out there. And then there's people like you and I, there's artists that decided to create singles, EPs, albums, tracks, whatever. Some decided to rebrand. Some people decided not to do music anymore. They said, screw this, I'm not doing it, it's too much work. And so what I'm trying to get at is that people had time to self-reflect about what they wanted to do with their life, how they wanted to be perceived as people, as artists. So during this time, did you take time to self-reflect, and what did you think about?
Wow, yeah, man. These past 2 years, with all the ups and downs, I mean, it's like if you had a beating heart, you had to self-reflect. Like you had to take some inventory of what was going on in your life. And I was one of those people that refound or redefined my passion for music. I was a long time just songwriter, just working with people behind the scenes, and I still very much love to do that. But with the pandemic and being at home, that spark of creativity, like just newness, I guess, in creativity, made me want to pursue artistry and actually having my name on, the actual single or actual album.
Right.
So from that, my friends call me Mel was born. And as you said in my bio, I wanted to write music that felt like a friend. And in these times, I feel like music was that friend for me when I was so far away from friends, and being a military wife, I'm always kind of far away from people I care about. You got to continue making new friendships wherever you go. So music has been something I just kind of gripped to as just this lifesaver, as a raft, really.
I love that. I always tell people music for me is my saving grace. It helped a lot on the second part of the pandemic. I mean, the first part of the pandemic, my brain was void. I was just like, I had to pinch myself every morning to see if I wasn't living in the 1930s, 1940s, because you just don't think of this era as having plagues. Something
right. Yeah. And my husband's a doctor, so we really firsthand felt that. The intensity of, COVID and things like that. And so it was every day, it was like, praying it was going to be okay. And
right. Yeah, no, you had it worse because, you have a husband that's a doctor, being around people that have COVID and stuff like that. It's surreal. It's surreal. But sometimes I believe everything happens for a reason. Sometimes people need to take, and it's sad because millions of people died, but it allowed people to really reflect and just, sometimes people just need to take a step back and relax. Some people were able to do that during that 1 year off period, so to speak. I was working from home during that time, but it still gave me a lot of time to think about who I want to be, what I want to do with music. It's just, and it made me reflect a lot about artistry. And what I realized is that all of us that do music, music is our superpower, because we can heal people, we can move mountains. People use our music to, express their emotions. They use it on TikTok, social media, whatever. But they use it, makes them feel better in some kind of way. And I was telling somebody else recently or yesterday about the same story, where this woman told me that she had a performance, and this guy came up to her after she performed. It was like, oh my gosh, this performance was amazing. I really loved it. And I'm glad I came to see you tonight, because after your show, I was going to go home and kill myself. So that's how powerful her set was. It gave him a new lease on life. So, when we create music, for those of us that believe in, social impact message songs are creating music that's impactful, that makes a difference in somebody else's life, whether it's about breakup songs, love songs, whatever's going on in the world, we need to remember that we can make a difference with music.
Yeah. People want to be seen. They want to be understood.
Yes.
And I feel like music can speak to the soul in a way. Just, even if you said it in plain conversation, it wouldn't hit the same as when you have the swell of a cello with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that, obviously in the past couple of years, people were craving hope. They wanted, something to belong to because, with the elections and all this fake news and stuff like that, they wanted to hold on to something that was real. And I think music, especially independent artists, people were able to find more independent artists during the pandemic because they had that downtime. Now,
it's also a really great way to dissociate if you need to take a break from it.
Yes, it's a great way
I'm not even going to process what I'm going through. I'm just going to write about some other shit.
Exactly. There you go. I mean, come on now. So how did you get involved in music? Did you come out of the womb and you're just like, yep, music is me, I'm going to do this? Or was it something that you heard or saw that made you say, okay, Melanie needs to do music?
Yeah. So I grew up around music. My dad's actually a bluegrass player. He plays in a band. He plays banjo. He's super cute. Love it. And I grew up around brothers who were in rock and roll bands and things like that. And I actually took, a classic kid that had to take piano and, at a very early age. But I even remember being kindergarten and writing these theme songs for characters I would create in my room. I was kind of a weird kid. I would isolate in my room and just go into my imaginary world and do this theme song writing, and I'd write scripts for all my characters. I basically wanted to be on Disney Channel, but that didn't work out. But yeah, so from an early age, I just kind of had that songwritery, creative flair, and I just kept pursuing it, and for fun, and doing choirs and things like that. I was classically trained in voice lessons growing up, and then I changed when I was in college. I took voice lessons with Julie Henderson, who's in San Antonio, and I love her. I got to shout her out because she's changed my life when it comes to pop vocal training. But yeah, so yeah, I kind of feel like I've always been around music. It's always been a part of my life, and oddly, songwriting has too. I feel like I didn't know a lot of kids that actually wrote down songs when I was young.
Right. Oh, well, I think that's awesome. I mean, I personally, my father's a singer, so I was around music, but I never thought that I would ever do music. I mean, I love to dance and stuff like that, but I was so shy. I was like, oh my gosh, you think I could ever get on the stage and do something? And after a while, I learned, I started by writing spiritual poetry and then turning them into songs. And so music, like I said, has always been my saving grace, and it's helped me through a lot. So I'm very thankful for the artists out there because they helped me through a lot of things. Now, how important is it for you to be authentic as a person and authentic in your music?
Oh, man. I mean, incredibly authentic. I would feel weird if somebody was like, I don't care, let's just fake it. But I will say, though, I often will take inspiration from outside myself. And, I'll meet with friends and hear their stories and get their permission to write a story kind of based on their song or on their life.
Right.
Or I'll watch TV shows. So I still think that's authentic because I'm still writing from my own perspective of how I perceive it. But, if I say something how I want to sing it, I want to mean what I say, I don't want to be called out for being fake, you know?
Yeah, no, and I think that's wonderful. It goes into the whole concept of just being yourself as an artist. I was having a conversation with somebody else. I say it seems like when you listen to the radio, it's always the same type of music over and over and over. And then when you go to music conferences, they're always telling you, "Oh, we want to hear something different." Yet they're playing the same crap over and over again. It's almost like these people have to die off for you to know somebody else, somebody new on the radio stations. We know it's pay to play, but there's got to be a point where a radio DJ is going to be like, enough is enough. I need to play something new and exciting so that people are aware that there are other artists besides these artists on the radio. I myself, I used to write, like the normal verse, chorus, verse, bridge, verse, whatever. And then I started, and what happened to me is like I wouldn't be able to write because I felt like I was forcing myself to write a certain way. And when I changed that, I started writing more like as if it were a poem. Then it allowed me to relax, and the music started to flow. The lyrics started to flow, and I felt more like myself. So, do you write in that sense, in the sense that you just allow yourself to be and to write the way that you want?
Yeah, when I was just doing songwriting, really, and not really writing music for myself, I kind of tried to stick to a format. But more often than not, when I'd like come away from a writing session and just, be singing the song and just reworking it, it ended up taking on a whole different form, and people ended up liking that better. So for these artist projects, even when it comes to genre, like I gave myself the freedom to, remain in like genre, but, mix it up, do some R&B, do some very acoustic things as well. Like, I mean, it didn't have to be one size fits all. And, I've had songs that basically have one verse into the chorus, and then there's an alternate chorus, and then kind of a bridge, and there's some of my favorite songs. But, I think it's their own.
Yeah. Songwriting is definitely very interesting. Some people are so, like, I write for, Americana folk country, stuff like that, and they're so rigid in their stuff. They're just like, okay, you have to rhyme. And my thing is like, isn't the point to tell a story? Why is it that you have to rhyme with everything? And, the deeper I get into music, I actually stopped listening to the music portion. I listen to the lyrics. I like to see the evolvement of an artist. I like to see how somebody expresses something. I like to see that person in their music, because I think words are so important, obviously, to get the message out. And
absolutely.
So no, it's great that, and obviously, as artists, we have to look at, we're a brand, right? And so there's a specific way we like to write. But if we're writing for something, a show, or for somebody else, we're also a business. I'm a multi-genre artist, but my focus is Americana folk country. But I do write and perform for the others because I'm a business. Obviously, streaming is not allowing us to make a lot of money. So if you're not touring and selling merch, you have to try to get your music into sync, licensing, TV commercials, you name it. You need to try to do it. So I think
that's the name of the game.
Yeah, but I think sometimes people forget those things. They forget that we are a business. It's just that's what it is. We're a business. Now, what do you love most about being an artist?
Oh man, it's hard to differentiate between that and like a songwriter, because I would say that it would be the same thing for both. I love when a song, I get to hear somebody say that a song connects with them in a very personal way. Like when you're writing a song, performing a song, like you have your own way that you want it to come across, that you're writing from your own experience or somebody else's experience.
Right.
And then people will like be like, oh yeah, this, you know, my grandpa and I listened to this in this way and then we loved it. And I was like, wow, I wasn't even thinking about that, you know. And so, like I wrote a song during Suicide Awareness Month and Mental Health Month back in September. I guess Mental Health Awareness just happened, but Suicide Awareness Month back in September. And just the way the song I wrote for that took a life of its own for other people. You know, like the song was about suicide, but other people took it for anxiety, depression, everything mental health related. And just being able to speak to people in that way when, I don't know, normal like spoken word fails, the songs don't.
Exactly. Now I'm going to play one of your songs, "Get Over You." Tell me what that's about.
Yes, "Get Over You" was one birthed out of the pandemic. I was actually writing with a friend who went through a breakup, and this guy was kind of the worst. But it's basically about the idea of like a breakup never happens like all at once. Like it takes time to heal from it until eventually you've done, and that's kind of the last, you know, chip of the heartbreak, if you will. And it's like, all right, we both moved on, and you know, all these things I thought it was going to be like with you, I mean, it's not coming true, and that's okay. So it's kind of the piece of it. It's the piece of a breakup, but also the hurting of a breakup.
All right, let's play it.
It was a Wednesday when you called me, but I waited till Monday to start crying. Then I kept my distance at a mutual friend's house party, and all was lying when I said I was doing fine. 'Cause that's how it goes, so no see it, no, a heart don't break all at once. Yeah, that's how it goes, so no see it, no, a heart don't break all at once. Over and over again, over you, over and over again. The thoughts run wild, you're back in my head. The bad cycle I'm trying to end. Over and over again, over you, over and over again. We knew it was right, we're better off friends, but we had something that's hard to forget. And now the memories hit when I least expected to. All the places we went, probably there with someone who almost said your name in a casual conversation. Forgot how it felt on the tip of my tongue. I didn't miss her that much. That's how it goes. No see it, no, a heart don't break all at once. Yeah, that's how it goes. It's hard to let go when suddenly you both moved on. Whoa. Over and over again, over and over again. The thoughts run wild, you're back in my head. That's like I'm trying to end. Over and over again, over and over again. We knew it was right, we're better off friends, but we had something that's hard to forget. Get over you, get over you. 'Cause that's how it goes, so no to you, no, a heart don't break all at once. Yeah, that's how it goes, it's hard to let go. That's how it goes, no to you, no, a heart don't break all at once. Yeah, that's how it goes, it's hard to let go, and that's how you know you really love. Over and over again, over and over again. My thoughts run wild, you're back in my head. A bad cycle I'm trying to end. Over and over again, over and over again. You knew it was right, we're better off friends, but we had something that's hard to forget. Over and over again, over and over again. My thoughts run wild, you're back in my head. A bad cycle I'm trying to end. Over and over again, over and over again. You knew it was right, we're better off friends, but we had something that's hard to forget. Get over you.
I love it. Now this one's on,
Thank you.
it's on Spotify.
Yes, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you can stream music. And there's a YouTube little lyric video that a friend made that's really cool.
And how is this song doing?
It's good. I am a new artist, and so I don't have a massive following, but it did just break 6,000 streams. So I was excited about that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Because it's definitely commercial, and you have a great voice. I was just thinking,
I really wanted to write a breakup bop.
You can definitely. Anybody listening could say, "Oh my God, this could be so on a show," and it could be top. It could top the charts.
Manifest it.
Yes,
I got some radio play too in Texas, which was like without my prompting, which was cool.
So what do you use to market and promote your music?
So I have a management company I work with called B Squared, women-owned company out of Nashville, and they're awesome. How they connected us actually, but they've been helping me get my name out there.
I know them well. I know Birdie well.
Yeah, Birdie's awesome.
Well, that's awesome. To me, that song is definitely a hit. Now, which song of yours do you like to perform and why?
Ooh, it's a good question. I really like to play Wildflowers, which is the first song I released last year in April. And it's a song that's pretty personal to me, but also it's hard to write personal songs that are also encouraging without it being too cheesy. I don't know if that makes sense. But that song, it's basically about showing love to your younger self and bringing back your inner child in your adult years, because we can look back on our childhood or even like our teen years and get really cringed out about, the shit we got up to. But, but I guess as an adult, I've just realized, and I guess now having a daughter, I want to still have that childlike wonder about me, when all the crap in the world is happening. It's hard to not just lose heart, because innocence has kind of like gone away, but you can still see the wonder and the beauty in the world, even with the chaos all around. And so that song kind of celebrates where you've been and where you're going and carrying those parts of yourself with you.
All righty, I get it. Now that you're a new mom, how do you think you're going to balance being a mom and this artist? The artist in you.
Yeah. Ain't that the question? I'm honestly, I'm still working on it. It's hard because she's on her own routine. I'm trying to adjust to her routine. But at the end of the day, I know that putting out these songs and these projects, working on music is going to make me a better mom because I'm doing what I'm passionate about.
That's right.
And so, and how often are moms so very burnt out? I mean, dads too. I mean, parents just get so burnt out when they don't make space for themselves. And, I can't give as much time to music as I'd like, but I still can. I have a wonderful partner in my husband, and he, helps me make space for that as well. But yeah, and I invite her in to the writing sessions, as long as the other collaborators, and she just plops on the floor and listens in, and I'm hoping maybe she'll get the little songwriting bug.
Hey, you never know. Yeah. When she's able to write and talking or start belting some things, you're going to be like, okay, I think she might be in the family business. That would be awesome.
Start doing vocal warm-ups with her.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm going to play your song. Who's the other song? It's all the way down here. I Got It Bad. Tell me what that's about.
Yeah, so I just released the song May 20th, which was my husband and I's 5-year wedding anniversary. And so the song, is about him, but also it's general to when you first realize you're falling in love with somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with. And it's kind of from the perspective of the very beginning of the relationship when you're like, oh my gosh, this is actually real. Okay.
I love that. All right. Let me see it.
I got it bad, dreaming the whole night through, and it's driving me mad, wishing I was next to you, baby, we're fast, we won't fade with the tide. Realest feeling I've ever had, it scares me, but with you I'll be alright. You know I'm independent, but I can't keep hiding that I'm feeling some kind of way. Really hoping my emotions, you got my full attention. Let's say
Another beautiful one. That was very nice, and it showed a different type of genre also. It only gave
that one's definitely way different.
yeah, it gives like a somewhat of a bluesy R&B kind of vibe. Nice. I mean, it's great to write in many different ways. Believe me.
Thank you. I really loved writing that one and singing it. That was a fun recording session, but it was hard. It was like 2 takes, and I was like, all right, that's all I have in me.
You're like, that's it. That's all I got. Yeah, writing is what is your writing process, and how do you how do the ideas flow to you? I know the best place for me to come up with songs is in the shower. I don't know what it is about the shower, but I get the best ideas. It's just like, oh my gosh, I gotta write them down, but I don't have anything to write them on.
Right, that's when you need like a waterproof case, like quick press record. Yeah, for me, actually, a lot of my writing happens in the car. I can't tell you the amount of songs that I've written start to finish in the car on the way home from like the grocery store. Something about belting out music in the car. I mean, because that's the kind of music I want to write, is music that can like just be sung really loudly in the car. And so I'm like, I guess it makes sense for me to write all of it here, because I'm inspired by the location. But yeah, basically for me, it normally starts with a melody. Typically, I'm primarily a melody writer. I love a good catchy melody, and then I kind of just start singing, random lyrics with it. And sometimes they stick, sometimes they don't. And then I'll go back and kind of give like okay, what's the story? What's the storyline of this song? What's the heart of the song? What am I trying to say here? But yeah, normally it's melody first for me.
Yeah, me is what I would do is I'll think of a theme I want to write about, and I'll start out with the chorus, and then I work around the chorus, and then the verses start to flow that way. It's just
yeah. So I guess if I'm being more specific, verses for me come first. I normally, if I have a good catchy first part of the verse, then I'm like, I'm set, I'm good. I'll be excited about the rest of the song. Because if I'm not excited about that first line of the verse, then I won't want to continue writing the song.
Right. No, I get it. Yeah, like I said, when I'm forced to write, I just, nothing comes. I will stare at the screen, and I still write on paper for hours and start yelling at the paper and the screen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why is there nothing coming through? And then I'll just walk away. And then the next day, things will just flow. And it's just odd. And I'm like, where were you yesterday? I needed this yesterday. What are 3 things you wish you had known before you got into the music industry?
Ooh, that is a great question. I wish I had, this is kind of iffy, but I wish I had known my sound a little bit better. Like, I wish I had honed in my vocal capabilities and the style choices I had. I mean, I know some of that's just experience-based, but I just kind of wish I was more sure of myself. I was very uncertain when I came into the music industry, and it definitely shows in my earlier writing. That I was just trying to please other people. So I guess it's more the assurity that I had the ability to do what I was going to do. I'd say that's number 1. And then second, I wish I could go back and tell myself that I was fully capable of doing some of the tech side of things. I because there wasn't a lot of women in the tech world. I don't do my own production, but I think I could have, and I still could, there's still time, done more producing than I gave myself credit for back then. But I just, because I didn't have, the finances to fund, my DAW or, all the other audio things. Yeah, that's one thing. And then, let's see, the last thing, always budget for marketing. Marketing is so important. Getting your music's not going to be heard if it's not just going to be like a one-hit wonder thing where it's like, oh, somebody random just picked it up on the radio. It's like, no, you gotta go out there and have people help you with a lot of the marketing stuff.
Yeah,
way more important than I expected.
Definitely. The marketing thing it's excruciating. One person told me was like, when you promote, you shouldn't put the same thing on every platform. I'm like, well, I don't have. There's no way for me. What do you want me to come up with on 6 different platforms? I mean, that's I get what they were trying to say, but it's just no. I was just like, well. And then, what I find is that obviously years ago you take your little record and you go to a DJ and you say, can you play it? That was about the extent of it. I mean, a little bit more, but right now with promoting and marketing, you literally have to be on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Clubhouse, whatever it is. It's just a different time period. It's just a different way of doing things. And when you're writing music now, you have to say, oh, will this work on these platforms as well? I mean, if that's what you're going for. Like, oh, can somebody use it? It's insane. So I recently took this TikTok Cap University course, and they were talking about branding and how you should. Basically, we are a brand, so we are a business, so we have to learn how to, promote our music, promote ourselves, even if we try to promote it with our music with a product. And then, I mean, it was crazy. There was like this one woman, she didn't like the logo for Microsoft, and so she sent, it was like the videos were very short. She sent it to that, I don't like it. Then she sent the second video was the logo with her picture on it, and the third was Microsoft actually saw it and they put her logo up on their store. And then so she started designing logos for other businesses as well. So it's just this.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's like a totally different place. I had another person I talked to. She's a DJ. She said she did a remix on the voice. I don't know if it was like a Toy Elmo or something like that. And she said she put it up there. And the first day, there's oh, that's my watch. That's Siri. And then there's that's crazy. And then there's so she said the first time she looked, she said there was 1,000 views and all that stuff and likes and shares. And then the next day it went over 1 million. And she was just like,
it can happen just like that.
It can happen just like that, and you just don't know how things. It's just weird. It's bizarre. It's just bizarre.
It's the exciting and infuriating thing about what's happening now, especially with TikTok. It's so cool because people who would never have the chance to get their name out, and if they don't have any connection with the music industry or just don't know what they're doing, overnight they can become superstars essentially. And it's crazy, but it's also infuriating for people who have been doing this for so many years. They're like, what the heck? I gotta change my whole marketing technique.
I know. And TikTok is like, you need to do 5 videos a day. And at first I used to say, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? And recently I started to do that. I have had to come up with ideas. And now Facebook, back in February, they started doing Facebook Reels. And I was like, what is this? Which is kind of different than Instagram Reels, even though Facebook owns Instagram. And so if they see that you post a lot of Reels, though, they actually contacted me saying, oh, do you want to be a digital creator? I was like, okay, but then so what does that do? That means that you need to come up with videos. So there's a hitch to it, though, because at first I was uploading my TikToks onto my Facebook Reels, and they're like, okay, if you want to make money, we cannot accept it. You can still post the TikTok Reels, but you won't make money off of them. So what I started to do is create the videos off of Facebook first, then do them on TikTok. I'm just like, my brain.
Yeah.
It is
right, or create it all in a separate app.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's not a good. It'd be great to have one app where you could just create everything. You're like, okay, this is what I'm doing today. So what I do sometimes is I will create the videos on Facebook Reel and then put them in drafts, and then put them out the next day. Because with Facebook, you know, they say to post between Monday through Friday, not Saturday and Sunday. You know, there's like 1 or 2 videos maybe a day that you can do. It's not like TikTok where it's like 5 videos a day. You keep needing to do something. And they said that TikTok is actually more streamed more than Netflix. Can you believe? And I believe that because the videos are a lot shorter, and so you know people can actually go on there and do whatever they need to do. But they said the videos that do the best are the ones that are the most authentic. And so you know, when people are thinking doing things on there, they just have to be themselves. And it could be funny, it could be serious, it could be depressed, it could be whatever. It's just about being yourself and showing who you are to the world.
Yeah, it's good advice. I gotta get on my TikTok game better. Thanks for the kick in the butt.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just it's crazy. Recently I've been posting all the I was born in the 70s, but I love 80s music, and I've been posting like, oh, my favorite 80s. You gotta have this on your playlist, or I love the Never Ending Story, or I put recently today I did one where I'm dancing to the Flashdance Maniac song and a leotard and tights. And I bought some leggings and I look like a freak. But hey, I did it. And
man, I wish I saw that video before this call so I can envision that while we're talking.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's funny because one of the TikToks I did last year was one on training bras, because I found my old training bra, and I obviously can't fit it now, but I was like, why did we even have this? Now I can use it as a headband and stuff like that. So I had that on my top of my head, and it's, you know, it's what we do now to be seen and heard. It's just it's a lot of work. Sometimes you just look at it and say, do I really want to do this? And then you'll get a call or an email, and they're like, oh, we really like your music. And we're like, okay, I guess I'm going to continue to do this mess. But last thing is, what is a quote, message, or, you know, saying that you'd like to use to push yourself throughout the day, if you have one?
Yeah, so I'm a firm believer in like morning mantras, and you know they change all the time for me. But one of them I always consistently said is, "I'm not going to be for everyone," and that sounds kind of negative.
Right.
But like it's very freeing to know that it's okay if not everybody likes me. Recovering people pleaser over here. And so I just have to tell myself that every single day. You know, it's okay that I'm not for everyone, but I'm great with myself, and I'm happy with where I'm headed, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
That's right. You know what? I just released a song called Authentically Me, and you just have to be yourself. People can't worry about what people think. I don't have time for that. I'm just going to be me. The world is already chaotic enough with people trying to bully you into being something that you're not. I'm done with all of that.
Yeah.
You don't like me, don't like my music, turn it off and look the other way. I'm good. So I completely understand.
Well, and I feel like authenticity breeds more authenticity. Like it's the more we are authentic, people feel the freedom to also be their true selves. That's oh man, that is one of the things I live by.
Amen to that. Well, Melanie, thank you so much for being on Chatting with Nat. It was my honor to have you on the show. I mean, you have an amazing voice. You're going to have a very successful career. I see it.
Oh, thank you so much, Nat. I appreciate it.
All right,
Thanks
everybody.
for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you, Melanie Scheiber. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. I mean, she's a singer-songwriter. She has beautiful, beautiful vocals. She's just amazing. And you can find her on Instagram at myfriendscallme.mel. My Friends Call Me Mel is on YouTube. She's on Spotify. Her website is myfriendscallmemel.com. And I love that because, you know what, that just shows her creativity, and it's different. She's unique. And if you can't remember that, just Google her, Melanie M Scheiber, or myfriendscallme.mel, and you'll find her. Until next time on Chatting with Nat.
Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help, so you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.